Welcome to Pattaya True Crime, where we recap some of the dark and chilling crimes and unfortunate events that has happened in Pattaya City and the surrounding areas. Warning: listener discretion is advised. This podcast explores graphic content and disturbing themes that might not be suitable for all audiences. Righto, welcome back to episode 38 of Pattaya True Crime. This week, we've got a little bit on. Drunk driver returning from the International Fireworks Festival, she flips a car. Got a mysterious death at a condo in Pattaya. That one's a bit of a yarn. Tourist holiday was ruined when a couple of thieves snatched 30,000 baht worth of luggage. Lady at a spa loses a whole bunch of jewellery worth 300,000. Bit of road accidents this one as well. Man, anyway, we'll get into it, Number one. So, body of a popular sriracha restaurant chef from Myanmar was found floating near a local beach. The body of the 30-year-old, the chef, who worked at a well-known seafood restaurant in central Sriracha, was discovered floating face down on the shoreline, just 100 metres from his workplace. At around 9:30 a.m. on Wednesday, the Sriracha Rescue Foundation received a report of the body at the beach in front of the Highway Department seaside residence. Police Lieutenant of Investigation, the deputy officers from Sriracha Police Station, Chonburi Provincial Forensic Police, and rescue volunteers, they all rushed to the scene. So the deceased, identified as Mr. Song, rest in peace, mate, Myanmar national, was wearing a black t-shirt, dark grey jeans and flip-flops. A frog hunting torch was still hanging around his neck, and he had distinctive tattoos on both arms. Righto, so forensic officers estimated he had been dead for about 1 or 2 days. The body was first spotted by a 54-year-old housekeeper at the residence, who initially mistook the body for a mannequin while cleaning the beach. Restaurant manager arrived shortly after and positively identified the victim as one of his chefs. He told police that Mr. Song had been missing since Monday night. So he's gone on to say he loved fishing, especially at night. He often went out alone after his shifts. So relatives came to the restaurant on Tuesday saying they couldn't find him. So they filed a missing persons report at Sriracha Station. When we heard the body was found just down at the beach from the restaurant, we feared the worst. No good. Officers later located Mr. Song's fishing rod and mobile phone that was left on the rocks at his usual fishing spot, supporting their theory that he slipped, fell unconscious, or was swept into the water. No signs of assault or foul play were found on the body. Minor abrasions on his face were believed to have been caused by rocks and shells after he entered the water. Relatives have stated that they do not suspect anyone and are not pursuing any further investigation. Rescue workers removed the body and transported it to the Lam Shibang Hospital for a detailed post-mortem examination. Police have classified the death as accidental drowning, pending a final autopsy. So not really crime-related, but just goes to show you got to be careful. Anyway, moving on. Number 2. Got a drunk driver returning from Pattaya Fireworks Festival, crashes into a parked car and flips it. Yeah, no one was hurt, but yeah, it's a bit of a laugh. Should see the pictures. So, a night of enjoying the Pattaya International Fireworks Festival ended in chaos early in the morning when a heavily intoxicated woman lost control of her car, slammed into a parked car and flipped her own sedan on its side. The accident happened at 4 a.m. on Soi Siam Country Club in front of the Rawan Nasin Market. Raya 1 Nasin Market. Maybe that's how you say it. Righto, so the Sawang Bulibun Rescue Unit rushed to the scene and found a red Suzuki Swift lying on its side in the middle of the road, extensively damaged. The driver, a 42-year-old woman, was trapped inside. Rescuers extracted her. She had only suffered minor injuries and was clearly intoxicated, reeking strongly of alcohol and barely able to speak coherently. A short distance away, a black MG sedan had its rear end so violently... Hang on, I buggered that up. Short distance away, a black MG sedan had been rear-ended so violently that its rear was crushed. Right in the date. Righto, so the owner, 32-year-old male, told police that he had parked his car at the roadside to go shop at the market. When he returned, he discovered his car had been smashed. That would suck, wouldn't it? Anyway, the driver admitted she had been drinking heavily while attending the fireworks festival and was driving home when the crash occurred. She stated she simply did not see the parked car and smashed right into it, causing her car to flip. Definitely on the beers. Police conducted a breathalyzer test at the scene and are preparing drink driving charges. She was taken to a local hospital for treatment and further examination, while both vehicles were towed away for inspection. Authorities once again urged the public to use designated drivers, taxis, or ride-hailing services after consuming alcohol, especially during major events like the 2-day fireworks festival that drew massive crowds and late-night celebrations. Yeah. Well, considering, I think it was about 500,000 people, but I don't know, man, them pictures online of the beach at the time looked like millions, but with that much people in town for that, that's not too bad. That was really the only thing that happened. So everyone was rather well behaved. Anyway, moving along to number 3. Motorcyclist cuts off ambulance rushing to a crash site in Sriracha, nearly causes a second accident. Dickhead. So, dashcam footage has emerged showing a motorcyclist dangerously cutting in front of a rescue vehicle that was racing with lights and sirens to assist an injured person following a road accident. The incident, which occurred around 8 a.m. in the morning, was recorded by the front-facing camera of the rescue's pickup truck belonging to the Sawang Prathep Sriracha Foundation. A 54-year-old veteran rescue volunteer, he explained that he had received an emergency call about a motorcycle colliding with a 6-wheel truck. With lights and sirens blaring, he hurried to the scene. As he turned at an intersection, a man riding a blue Honda Wave was seen travelling in front of him in the same direction. So, after safely overtaking the motorcycle and returning to his lane, the rider suddenly overtook on the right and cut sharply in front of the rescue vehicle, forcing him to brake hard to avoid a collision. He said, "I was shocked. If I had crashed, it would have created another accident, injured more people, delayed help to the original victim, and caused unnecessary damage and legal problems." Too fucking right, mate. Anyway, moments later, the same motorcyclist sped past the actual crash site where Good Samaritans were already assisting the injured rider, nearly hitting civilians who were helping at the roadside. Fucking righto. One bystander shouted at the rider for speeding through an active accident zone in a narrow soy. Maybe he needed a shit or something, I don't know. Sore stomach, or just a dickhead, one or the other. So after passing the scene, the motorcyclist was seen actually waving goodbye like he was mocking them, so didn't need a poo, being a dick. So righto, the original crash victim sustained injuries and received first aid from rescue volunteers before being transported to the local hospital. The driver of the rescue vehicle released the dashcam footage to raise public awareness and issued an urgent appeal to all road users. This is what he reckons. When you hear or see an ambulance, rescue vehicle, or any emergency vehicle with lights and sirens activated, please move over and give way immediately. Universally, that's kind of the right thing to do, eh? Every second counts for someone who may be fighting for life. Blocking or cutting off emergency vehicle doesn't just risk another accident, it costs lives, he said. Again, too right, mate. Local authorities and road safety advocates have echoed the call, reminding drivers and riders that failing to yield to emergency vehicles is not only dangerous but also punishable under Thai traffic law. Well, I don't know, man, the way I see it, what if that was your loved one in an accident and someone delayed the emergency vehicle getting to your loved one or yourself, God forbid, and they died? Moral of the story, don't be a fuckwit. Get out of the way. Righto. Carrying on. Number 4. So we've got a thief returns in sidecar motorcycle, steals from closed Pattaya restaurant for the second time. Yeah. A furious restaurant owner has released dramatic CCTV footage showing a lone thief calmly cutting the electricity meter, dragging the cable inside, and stripping her shuttered eatery of everything electrical. Good bloke. After she had let the same culprit go unpunished by not pressing charges for a previous break-in. Won't let it go this time, I'm sure. The 38-year-old owner of the Rice Noodle Kitchen, located at 95/29 Mu 11 on the Kautalo Railway Parallel Road, I know exactly where that is, told reporters that the theft happened in the early hours of the morning. Footage from the shop's security cameras showed the thief arriving at 3 a.m. on a distinctive motorcycle with a sidecar. He parks directly in front of the closed restaurant, walks to the electricity pole, uses tools to sever the power line meter. Or power line at the meter, I should say. He then casually drags the cable into the premises to help him dismantle and remove equipment. Items stolen was one white 9000 BTU CCL air conditioner, the entire electrical control panel, or wiring and components connected to the electricity meter. Total damage and losses are estimated to be no less than 30,000 baht. He's selling all that wire for whatever. Bastard. Right. She explains that the restaurant had been temporarily closed with metal shutters locked across the front. She admitted the same man, or possibly an accomplice, had broken in once before. On that occasion, she chose not to press charges, believing it was a minor incident. I never thought he would come back and take everything this time, she said. Now I'm in serious trouble. Or he's in serious, well, they both are. She's lost a bunch and he's going to get caught, hopefully. After discovering the second, far more destructive burglary, the distraught owner immediately filed a formal complaint with Police Lieutenant Colonel Investigation Duty Officer at Nongpru Police Station, urging authorities to track down the suspect as quickly as possible. Investigators are now examining the clear CCTV images of both the thief and his unusual sidecar motorcycle in the hope of making a rapid arrest, they reckon. Right. Police say the case is being treated as aggressive nighttime theft. Yep. Well, hopefully he gets caught. Righto, we've got number 5. Heaps of questions in this one. Let you decide. An American man found dead in Pattaya with head covered and handcuffed. Police are investigating the mysterious death of an American man found with his head covered with a black plastic rubbish bag and his hands cuffed behind his back in a Pattaya hotel room. Nha Jomtien police station officers, together with rescuers from the Sawang Rojan Sahib Foundation and a medical team from the hospital, were called to the 8-story hotel in Nha Jomtien around 1 p.m. The deceased was identified as a 69-year-old American man. His body was found in the bathroom of his room. He was wearing only brown shorts with his head covered by a black plastic bag and his hands cuffed behind his back with black handcuffs. Officers report no signs of a struggle or ransacking inside of his room. A bundle of black rubbish bags and an object resembling a restraint strap used for bondage purposes were found in his room. Few questions in that one, eh? So, the hotel maid who discovered the body told police she went to clean the room as the guest was due to check out. She knocked several times but got no response, prompting her to unlock the room with her spare key. She then discovered the man dead inside the bathroom. Investigators called for forensic officers to examine the room and collect evidence. CCTV footage from inside and around the hotel is being reviewed to determine whether anyone visited the room before the incident. Police said initial findings suggest the possibility of suicide carried out in a bizarre manner, though murder and other scenarios have not been ruled out. More questions. It's not funny, but it is a little bit. So the man's body was sent to the Institute of Forensic Medicine for a detailed autopsy. Police will later coordinate with the US Embassy and the man's family regarding the investigation results and necessary legal procedures. Pardon me. Yeah, it's not funny. Rest in peace, mate. No matter how you went. If it was a strangle wank gone wrong or something more sus. Don't know. Number 6. South Korean court upholds life sentence in grisly Pattaya reservoir barrel murder of a tourist. I think this was a while back before I started doing this podcast. But nonetheless, in a conclusion to a cross-border crime that horrified tourists and locals, South Korean Supreme Court upheld lengthy prison terms for 3 men convicted of kidnapping, robbing and murdering a fellow countryman during their trip to Thailand last year. The case, dubbed Pattaya barrel murder by South Korean media, involved the dismemberment and disposal of 34-year-old victim, the 34-year-old victim's body, in a cement-filled barrel submerged in a reservoir near Pattaya. The court's decision affirms sentence. I'll be able to do this one day properly. The court's decision affirms sentences handed down earlier this year by lower courts: life imprisonment for 28-year-old ringleader, 30 years for the 40-year-old accomplice, and 25 years for the 27-year-old accomplice. Get lightheaded. So the trio, or South Korean nationals, were found guilty of murder, robbery, and corpse dismemberment after a trial in Changwon District Court, with appeals rejected at every level. Prosecutors described the suspects as antisocial individuals who showed disregard for human life, having sustained themselves through voice phishing scams, righto, and extortion schemes targeting other South Korean travellers in Thailand. Yeah. So the details of the crime unfolded in May 2024 when, we'll just call him R. Yeah. So when R, a sole resident visiting Thailand with his Thai wife, vanished after a night out in Bangkok. On the 2nd of May, he was last seen by his wife at a pub in the RCA Entertainment District. Surveillance footage from the 3rd of May captured 2 suspects approaching R around 2 a.m, forcing him into a rented car and driving southeast towards Pattaya. The group arrived in Pattaya and then they switched vehicles to a rented white ute, which checked into a temporary accommodation near the reservoir in Banglamung district. Ute, pickup truck, same thing. Righto, so the same day, they purchased a large plastic barrel, nylon ropes, and scissors from a local warehouse store, paying in cash without raising alarms, according to the shop owner. By 9 p.m. on the 4th of May, CCTV showed the truck departing the rental site with a black tarp covering its cargo bed, heading directly to the reservoir. R's family soon received a frantic random demand via an online messaging app, 3 million baht, about 82,000 US dollars at the time, for his safe return, with graphic threats to kill, dismember, and sell his organs on the black market if unpaid by the 8th. Yeah, right. Good on you guys. So his mother, back in South Korea, alerted authorities, triggering a joint Thai-South Korea investigation. Thai police searched the reservoir on the 11th and discovered the barrel, weighed down with cement containing R's mutilated remains. An autopsy later confirmed that he had been beaten to death with signs of robbery, as his wallet and phone and cash were missing. The suspects fled Thailand immediately after the disposal. An international manhunt ensued, with arrest warrants issued by Thailand's South Criminal Court. One was arrested in Cambodia, one in Vietnam, and the other at his family home in South Korea. Investigators uncovered evidence linking the group to similar robberies of South Korean tourists, including voice scams where they impersonated authorities to extract money. It's just a bunch of good dudes on holiday. So the case drew widespread media attention in both countries. Thai authorities have since ramped up patrols in scam-prone areas, while South Korean officials issued travel warning advice of ongoing crime rings. R's family expressed relief at the verdict, but ongoing grief, of course, with his wife. She declined public comment for safety reasons. Fair enough. The Supreme Court's ruling brings finality to the saga that began with a holiday gone wrong and ended in the reservoir's murky depths. There you go. Not much more to say about that, really, eh? Nah. Poor bugger. Evil people. They're fucked anyway in life. Got life. Number 7. A spa in Chonburi denies responsibility on client losing gold worth 300,000 baht. A Thai woman lost more than 300,000 baht worth of gold jewellery after keeping her valuables in a locker at a spa in Sriracha area of Chonburi province. So the 38-year-old woman filed a complaint with Sriracha police at the Sriracha police station after discovering that several gold accessories had vanished from her locker. She told police that she immediately informed the spa owner, but the owner denied responsibility. Police arrived at the spa around 3:30 p.m. to investigate. She explained that she checked into the spa for treatment at around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Staff told her to change her clothes and store her belongings in the locker. She underwent 1 hour body scrub, followed by a 10-minute shower, before returning for an hour-long oil massage. She insisted she kept the locker key with her at all times. When she finished and returned to her locker to collect her belongings, the staff reminded her to check her valuables. It was then she realised her gold items were missing. No good. The stolen pieces included a gold necklace worth about 180,000 baht, a gold bracelet worth 60,000 baht, a gold ring worth 30,000 baht, and a pair of earrings were also gold worth about 15,000 baht. All were kept inside a small bag placed in her shoulder bag. She grew suspicious about how someone managed to open her locker despite having the key. She noticed another key left in a neighbouring locker and tested it on her own locker. Shockingly, it unlocked her locker as well. So she believes the theft occurred during her shower, as the bathroom was outside the massage room. She informed staff who attempted to clear themselves by emptying their bags of 3 employees in front of her. No stolen items were found in them. It doesn't really mean anything. Not pointing the finger at staff, but you know. She then brought the matter to the spa owner, who refused responsibility, claiming a warning sign at the entrance stated the spa was not liable for lost valuables. Officers searched the premises but found no trace of the missing gold. They seized her shoulder bag for fingerprint analysis, and the spa owner, along with employees, were taken to the police station for questioning. Speaking to reporters, Updated News, she said she was deeply upset and vowed to pursue the case to its fullest extent. It would have been safer locked in your car, love. Anyway, number 8. A disabled lottery vendor wades into the sea to save a drowning man at Pattaya Beach, only to discover the man is already dead. A wheelchair-bound lottery ticket seller became the unlikely attempted hero of a tragic scene on Pattaya Beach after he waded into the water in an attempt to rescue what he thought was a drowning person, only to find the man had already passed away. The alarm was raised around 7 p.m. The Sewang Bulibun Rescue Centre in Pattaya received a report of a person drowning at Pattaya Beach. A large crowd of locals and tourists had already gathered on the beach. The body of a male adult wearing a black shirt and long pants was laying on the sand covered with a cloth. His nationality remains unknown. Initial examination found no signs of assault. Only drag marks from the sea were visible, consistent with the body being pulled ashore during low tide. So witnesses told rescuers that children were playing in the water, first spotted the person floating face down, and alerted adults. At that moment, a 44-year-old lottery vendor who is physically disabled in both legs and used a wheelchair but can still swim due to his strong arms, was resting nearby on the beach. I know they're talking about, see that bloke down there when I drive past, having a kip in his wheelchair with his lottery thing on his lap. What a bloke, good guy. So, seeing the emergency, he immediately left his wheelchair and waded into the water to help. By the time I reached him, the body was already stiff, he said. I realised the person had already passed away, so I called authorities. It was later revealed that the man is the nephew of the late Police Lieutenant Rewat Klin Kesorn. I really should practice this first. So anyway, a well-known anti-narcotics and anti-insurgent commander famously known as Kun Dong Slayer and Siam Mal Slayer during Thailand's turbulent fight against major drug lords in southern insurgents. Wow. Hey, that'll be alright, wouldn't it? I should really look that fella up. I don't know. Never know, might do a little side mission here and do an episode about him. That sounds pretty cool. Siam Mal Slayer. Alright, anyway, we'll see. Anyway, moving on. Police coordinated the removal of the body, which was taken to the Police General Hospital for forensic. Well, one day I'll get it right. Or I should just learn how to edit so it sounds good. But anyway, it's hardly professional, this podcast. Anyway, carrying on. He got sent to the hospital for full post-mortem examination to determine the exact cause of death and confirmed the deceased identity. Authorities are continuing their investigation into the incident, but praised the disabled lottery vendor for his bravery. And fucking A, how good's that? You got a packed beach, tourists and locals all looking, and the bloke with like wooden legs goes into the water. Good on you, mate. If anyone's local and listens to this, go down there and buy some lottery tickets off him. And as a foreigner, you can win. You can win. You can claim it. I know because I've won. Not a big amount, but yeah. Go help the fella out. Might have to wake him up, though. He's usually having a kip. Anyway, moving on, number 9. Pattaya tourist has holiday ruined as thieves snatch 30,000 baht suitcase. 26-year-old woman's holiday in Pattaya turned into a nightmare on a Thursday night when 2 men on a motorcycle stole her suitcase containing clothes and luxury brand name bags worth more than 30,000 baht, pardon me. The lady filed a report at the Pattaya City Police Station around 10 o'clock at night after the theft occurred in front of a beauty salon on Thepprasit Road. According to the victims, she and a friend had come to Pattaya for a short holiday and planned to continue travelling to other provinces. While getting hair done at the salon, which was crowded with customers, she left her suitcase outside the shop to avoid taking up too much space inside. Well, anyway, so the entire styling session took less than 30 minutes. When she stepped outside, the suitcase had vanished. Security camera footage later revealed the crime. 2 men riding a black Honda PCX scooter pulled up in front of the salon. The pillion rider. I only just learnt that word. Pillion, guy sitting on the back. So the pillion rider, wearing an orange shirt, quickly got off, grabbed the suitcase, loaded it onto the bike, and they sped off. She urged police to track down the culprits as soon as possible, expressing concern that the thieves may target other tourists or residents using the same methods. Police are reviewing additional CCTV footage in the area and have launched an investigation to identify and arrest the suspects. Hope they get them. Moving on to number 10. South Korean man allegedly pours hot water over Thai girlfriend out of jealousy. Jesus. He did it in an attempt to disfigure her so she would be unable to date other men. Oh, for fuck's sake, really? So the Thai woman took to a Facebook group of Thai people in South Korea. All right, so happened in South Korea. Seeking a free interpreting service after she was assaulted by her South Korean boyfriend. She said she needed help communicating with local police to take legal action against him. A Thai interpreter later stepped forward to assist her. The interpreter helped translate her statement to police officers and also contact a legal agency to support the woman in pursuing proper legal proceedings. The victim's friend shared the further details to the story on her Facebook account. So the victim revealed to her friend that she had been asleep while her boyfriend poured hot boiling water directly onto her face. Fuck hell. Righto. So the South Korean man then apologised and took her to the hospital. That's wild. So she agreed to go with him despite being frightened and angry because she did not have much money to seek treatment on her own. The man later confessed to the victim that he wanted to make her look ugly so she would not be able to leave him for another man. Fuck me. Wow. So he begged for her forgiveness and remain in the relationship, promising to take care of her. That's some weird shit, man. However, the woman said no, of course, and no longer wished to continue the relationship or speak with him. Kind of good reason why. She told her friend that any further communications should only go through lawyers or police officers. So a photo shared by the interpreter and her friend showed the woman's face wrapped in gauze, leaving only her eyes and mouth exposed. She remains in a hospital in South Korea, and the interpreter promised to assist her until the case concludes. The incident sparked online debate with citizens, I suppose it means, urged, bear with me people, sorry, I'll get there eventually. So they urged the victim to reveal the full story, with some speculating she might have entered South Korea illegally and relied heavily on her boyfriend. The interpreter dismissed this speculation, explaining that the woman entered the country legally with a KETA, Korean Electronic Travel Authorization, which is required for visa exemption visitors. The interpreter also urges citizens not to press the victim with personal questions, as she remains in a fragile emotional state following the assault. Yeah. She further warned the public of the potential donation scams using the victim's name, clarifying that no fundraising has been made. Well, yeah, I don't know, man. That's fucked up. Number 11. Let's move on from that one. This one's a bit of a crack up. So, a drunk driver stranded on railway tracks in Pattaya after following a motorcycle rider, what he thought was the right way to drive. So, a heavily intoxicated man sparked a dramatic late-night rescue operation after driving his car onto an active railway track in Chonburi province, claiming he was simply following a motorcycle he saw turn off the road. So the incident occurred at around 12:30 a.m. in the Nongpru sub-district. Rescue workers from the Sawang Bulibun Foundation in Pattaya received an emergency call reporting a vehicle stuck on the railway line near Nongpru. Teams rushed to the scene fearing an imminent collision with the train. Yeah, you want to get off there. So upon arrival, rescuers were stunned to find a white Toyota precariously balanced and slowly moving along the tracks. Volunteers and local residents quickly blocked the vehicle and waved the driver to stop. The driver, clearly drunk and unsteady, was unable to maneuver the car any further. With no train approaching at that moment, rescue workers and Good Samaritans worked together to push and lift the vehicle off the rails. After considerable difficulty, they successfully moved the car to a safe area beside the tracks. A dead cat apparently ran over by the vehicle was also found nearby. Poor bastard. So when he was questioned, the driver told rescuers that he was on his way home when he saw a motorcycle rider turn onto what he thought was a passable road. Without realising, he followed it straight onto the railway tracks, causing his car to climb and become stuck across both rails. Yeah. So the vehicle had... Right. Got to compose myself. So the vehicle had been moved clear of the tracks but remained stranded on the elevated railway embankment. However you say that. Rescue teams said a tow truck would be required later to lift the car back down to road level. No injuries were reported, except for the dead cat. And authorities are expected to file charges against the driver for drink driving and endangering public safety. Yeah. Get a taxi. That'll solve your problems. Moving on, number 12 is our last one for this episode. So, motorcyclist seriously injured after crashing into a metal fence in Pattaya while trying to avoid a stray dog. In Huayai, a 55-year-old man suffered severe leg injuries in the early hours of the morning when his motorcycle veered off the road and slammed into a corrugated metal fence. Ouch. Leaving his left leg impaled and trapped in the wreckage. Double ouch. Bloody hell. So, the accident occurred at approximately 2 a.m. on the Municipal Road 1 near Soi 36. Police from Huayai Police Station received the emergency call and immediately coordinated with the Sawang Bulibun Rescue Foundation volunteers. Rescue volunteers from Pattaya and medical staff from the hospital. So at the scene, rescuers found the grey Yamaha motorcycle embedded in a collapsed section of a sheet metal fencing. The rider, identified as a 55-year-old man, remained pinned to the bike, with his left leg deeply lacerated and trapped by a jagged piece of metal. For fuck's sake, ouch. It's making my leg hurt. So, due to the complexity of the entrapment, rescue teams were forced to deploy hydraulic cutting and separating tools known as the jaws of life to carefully free the victim. Yeah, so the delicate operation took considerable time before the man could finally be extracted. He was given immediate first aid at the scene and rushed to the hospital in a serious condition. An eyewitness who was parked nearby with his sidecar motorcycle told officers he heard the sound of a motorcycle losing control, apparently while trying to avoid a dog before it crashed violently into the fence. He ran to the scene and saw the rider's leg pierced by the metal sheet. Unable to free the man, he immediately called for rescue services. Police are continuing to investigate the exact cause of the accident and will examine factors including road conditions, speed, and possible presence of stray animals. Righto. That would have fucking sucked. Hope he's alright. Should be back on his bike in no time. Oh, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back with another episode, hopefully very soon. Until then, you know how it goes. Stay safe out there, people. Stay safe.